Good morning. Weed Wednesday. You know I love you guys, right? I mean, seriously. See that big hill up there? There's something up there I want to show you, and I know that it's up there because I saw it up there last year. And I'm gonna climb that monster hill just for Weed Wednesday because I love you guys. See you at the top. So yeah, here we are at the top of this monster hill. And I'll tell you more about this location at the end of this video. But so have you ever been walking around and you look over there and you go, that has to be the biggest dandelion I have ever seen in my entire life? Well, if you've done that, more than likely you are not looking at a dandelion. You're probably looking at Salsify. So if you look behind me, you'll see some of these. This grass here is about chest high. When I get in it, you'll see it in a minute, but you'll see, especially right up there, those things that look like big monster dandelions, that's Salsify. Salsify. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get up there real close and show you how to identify the species, and then we'll do our other how-tos as well. So again, as far as identifying, this is a field that'll be bush hogged in the near future, and what we have is this plant right here. Now this plant, the seeds on these are soaking wet right now. That's why it looks like it's mottled down. You can see some of these where they're standing up a little bit more. But these are laid down and starting to pull apart. Real easy to come off. That's the seed portion. But the stem is long. This is about head high on me right here. It's a round stem. When you get down in here, oftentimes it'll have speckled red to it. The leaf structure on it is going to be alternating along the stem, and down at the base there'll be a basal rosette, which is a fancy way of saying that it has a base of leaves that come out from a central point, which is the stem. So the part of this that you want to harvest is the root, and the root, I'll tell you the uses in just a minute, but here's how we're going to harvest. Usually I just get a stick and I break it off. You can have a shovel, make it a little bit easier on you, but depending upon the soil, sorry, I'll get back here where you can see a little bit better. Depending upon the soil, a digging stick's gonna be just fine. So basically I just smacked this up against the tree and it broke off, and it's sharpened. Instead of taking time to sharpen it up and be all, bushcrafty, smacking against the tree, it'll probably work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up there. I'll try to get the camera down on this so you can see, and I'm gonna dig up this root, show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about how to use it. So this is what I've done. Here's the stem that we looking at the plant above earlier. So all I'm doing is taking my stick and digging around the outer portion, trying to move any loose dirt, make the dirt really loose all the way around this stem. And every once in a while I'll grab it and shake it, and what will eventually happen is the root will come up. You can see it's primarily a taproot, and I want to talk about some things about this root that you're probably seeing, particularly right along in here where you start to see some of that white stuff that's coming out. So again, here's the root. You'll note this real milky substance that comes out of the root system. Matter of fact, you'll find it, and sometimes you'll find it in all the stalk, but definitely when you dig up this root system. It's not harmful like perhaps you'll see that milkweed can be harmful like that to you as a human, not to other critters, but this is what we're looking for. And here's how we're going to utilize this. I'm going to scrape this off and get all those tiny hair-like roots off of it, and then I can basically put this in any sort of dish that I want to, if I want to add a little substance to it. If you like oysters, a lot of people say these taste like oysters. I don't think that so. I think they taste like Salsify. How about that? But in all seriousness, a lot of different ways that we can utilize this, and I'll hit it up in the next video. All right, so again, put it in a dish, like a casserole dish. You can fry this up. You can roast it over a fire. That tends to dry it out from my experience. But if you can put it in some water and then cook it up and maybe dry roast it so it stays pretty moist, it's not bad to eat like that. Again, most people will put it along with some other sort of dish. Cook it up with some eggs, put it in some sort of salad. But pioneers, and well, even people today, commonly dug this up and roasted the roots and used it for a coffee substitute. So I'm beginning to think that just about anything with a basil rosette that frontiersmen used it as some sort of coffee substitute. They really must have liked their coffee. So that is Salsify. That's how you harvest it, that's how you find it, and that's how you use it. Now let me tell you a little bit about this spot here. Hey, this is not my normal spot to be in. Check that out. Got a cannon. Ha ha, cannon. Actually, if you can tell, there's a big embankment right behind me, right in front of that cannon. This is a spot where during the Civil War they would lob cannonballs down in that area where you can see all that fog down below me, several hundred feet of elevation change there. That's the Kentucky River. And during the Civil War they would lob cannonballs down that direction. Fantastic little piece of history that we have here in my hometown, the Civil War fort at Boonesboro, if you're interested in coming this direction. If you're interested in harvesting salsify, I'm not recommend you go to tourist sites and harvest plants. It's probably not the best idea. But make sure that whenever you harvest, there's plenty of it, and that's why I came to here. There's just hundreds and hundreds of salsify plants here, and I picked up one. So there you go. When I want to harvest, I'll go elsewhere. So yeah, you all, know your history. Know the place that you're from. Check out the tourist sites that are in the areas where you're from. It'll do you well to know what's been going on in years past. And it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion. So that is salsify. It was a fantastic plant that a lot of pioneers would utilize back in the day. Again, as coffee. Fort Boonesboro, again, is just across the river from where you can see behind me, that foggy area. It's a beautiful, beautiful day to be outside. I hope this encourages you to get out and harvest your own edible wild plants. Salsify is the one that we were looking at today. That's S-A-L-S-I-F-Y. You can look it up, read about it. There's all kinds of nutritional content. There's about 10 different vitamins that you'll find in it, and in my opinion, it's pretty tasty. So come on, join in. Let's eat some weeds together.